Hey there everybody, I'm Reload and I'm playing EVE Online. So this time around, I wanted to see how the Alpha Clone character's skill limitations affect exploration. I've done the exploration tutorial in the past, and although it was pre-Ascension expansion, aside from the graphical user interface changes, the basic gameplay of exploration remains the same. You can check out more in-depth videos on the basics of scanning or exploration in low-sec and null-sec, but for this video I just wanted to see how easy or difficult it is to explore as an Alpha Clone character. I took the character that I used for the new player experience livestream, and I maxed out the exploration skills. Now since this character was Galente, I can only fly the Imicus, which is quite a decent ship for exploration. I personally prefer the Caldari Heron for Tech 1 exploration, but Imicus is my second favorite. Now when it comes to fitting exploration frigates, they're mostly cookie cutter fits. That is, there's a standard set of equipment that every ship will have. For example, the Imicus has 4 medium power slots. The 2 of them will be used up by the relic and data analyzers, 1 will equip a propulsion mod, and the last one will come down to your own choice. Since Alpha Clone exploration skills are limited, I recommend you get one of the scanning upgrades. You can only fit the acquisition array or the range finding array. Between the two, I would go for the range finding array. In my view, it's better to get more strength to your scanning probes, even if it takes a longer time for you to scan down a site. You can also increase your scanning strength by purchasing expensive faction probes, but a set of those will probably cost more than the ship and the fit combined. For a cheap and vulnerable T1 frigate, it's just not worth it in my opinion. So let's take a look at the fit as a whole. I'm going to show you a few variations of fitting an Imicus that's possible with the Alpha Clones. Starting with the low slots, I have 1 inertial stabilizer and 2 nanofiber structures. Now if you want to feel a little bit safer anywhere besides high sec, you can swap any of these 2 structures for warp core stabilizers. Your targeting distance will be severely reduced with these 2 fitted. But that shouldn't really affect you because you have to be within 5 kilometers away from the container you're trying to crack. For the medium slots I have a marker warp drive, the data and relic analyzers, and you can also fit a cargo scanner. This mod right here will let you take a look inside the canisters to see if they're worth hacking. That will prevent you from wasting time on useless containers, but I would still recommend the range finding array. In the high power slots you will have the core probe launcher with the scanner probes, and you can also fit a salvager. You will not need it for exploration, but you might stumble upon a nice wreck to salvage. Now the third high power slot is usually used for the cloaking device, but as an Alpha Clone character you will not be able to fit it. You can leave this one blank. And finally for the rigs, I use 2 gravity capacitor upgrades. Once again, I wanted to increase my ship's scan probe strength. If you're finding that you're having no problem scanning sites, but keep failing the hacking minigame, you can install the emission scope sharpener and the mimetic algorithm bank. That will buff up your analyzers. One thing to note is that Imicus can actually fit drones. I opted not to take any with me this time. So far I just can't find any use for drones in Alpha Clone exploration. Alright, so let's take the ship out for a spin. If you haven't yet already, take your time to go through the exploration career agent missions. Those give a pretty solid overview of exploration. In any case, here's a quick crash course on scanning. As you launch your probes, make sure you set them to the pinpoint formation. This big blue orb right here is the range of your directional scanner. So let's go ahead and start scanning down these 2 signatures. Just move your group of probes into the center of the signature you'd like to scan down, and increase the range of your probes until the red sphere fits within the overlap of all the probes. Hit the Analyze button and just wait for the analysis to complete. This particular site turned out to be a combat site, so we will not be able to run it in the exploration frigate. But we can right-click and ignore this result. It's best to just clear the screen and concentrate on the signatures that you still want to scan down. So just move the group of probes to the other signature and repeat the procedure. Keep reducing the range and repositioning the group of probes to the center of the signature. Eventually you'll be able to get the signal strength to 100 and warp to the signature. But this time around, once again we got a combat site. Eventually I got fed up with not being able to find any sites in high sec, so I jumped straight to low sec in hopes of better luck. And finally I was able to find a relic site. For a new player, low sec might seem very scary, and you will definitely lose your ship at some point in time. But the risk is totally worth the reward, especially when it comes to a cheap exploration frigate like this one. Stay safe by constantly checking your directional scanner, and stick to systems without other players in them. That will keep you relatively safe in low sec. In any case, we're at the site right now, so let's start hacking these containers. The hacking minigame is not too difficult to figure out. You can check out my guides in the playlist that I linked. Because as an Alpha Clone you can only fit Tech 1 analyzers, chances are you will fail a fair share of the tough containers. But the tough containers don't necessarily have the most expensive loot. And of course if you are doing this in low sec, be extra vigilant when you're trying to analyze the container. Because most of your attention is on the hacking minigame, you might miss a local spike or something appearing on a D-scan. Just keep reminding yourself to be on the lookout. Once again, I'm not going to get into exact detail on how to properly navigate the hacking minigame, but just in general, as you're hacking the container, you're injecting a virus that has to find its way to the system core in order to unlock the container. Along the way, you'll encounter the defensive subsystems that you'll have to either avoid or attack, and the utility subsystems that you can use to your own advantage. As you uncover each node, you will see a number that specifies the distance to the nearest utility or the system core. Your virus has its own defense level and attack strength that plays a role when dealing with the defensive subsystems. You have to strike a balance between what to attack and what to avoid in order to reach the system core with enough health left over. Once the system core shows up, you're almost done. With a successful hack, you'll be able to access the container and loot all the contents. Right from the first container, I was able to get the estimated value of 2 million ISK, which was actually more than the combined cost of the ship and the fit. Not a bad payout on the first try. The other 4 containers had mixed results. But that's how it goes with exploration. It's a random drop within each container. Some sites will have very good loot and others will not. That's why you might choose to use the cargo scanner. That will tell you what's within each container so that you don't waste time trying to hack it. That's something for you to consider if you find that you have enough probe strength to scan down each site. Then you can switch out the rage finding array for the cargo scanner. Currently, at the time of making of this video, relic sites are more profitable than the data sites. But that changes every now and then, and it's highly susceptible to the market forces. I haven't tried this fit with the nullsec or wormhole sites yet, but I'm predicting a similar result. For this particular site, I've managed to extract an estimated value of more than 4 million ISK. And in my opinion, currently exploration is the most lucrative career for the alpha clone characters. There is risk involved, and you will suffer losses, but overall it provides a very good payout. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you have any questions about EVE Online exploration. Thank you so much for watching. Click on my logo to subscribe to EVE Online and other gaming content. I'm Reload, wishing you a safe and lucrative exploration flight.